Alright, what's up, guys? Let's just get straight into this. So right now, markets are going ape shit. They're going crazy right now. I'm gonna quickly delete everything and I'm gonna explain what's going on because I think I got a good idea of what's happening. So yeah, let me go over GBP. Let me actually just go over here. GBP USD. Let's add one here and let's add GJ right over here. Alright, boom. So let me go over what exactly just happened. So this entire, like, I guess you could say month, August is known for its manipulation. Like, if you go back test every single August, we can go right now. Let's look for August, May, June, July, August. You can see in August right here, this is the start of August. It goes up, has these small little spikes down, goes up, small little spikes down, and then a major crash in September happens. So that's basically just every single August and September, that's what happens. And sadly, this August right here, July, August, was literally just ape shit. August open, new monthly candle open, the market tanks down, goes back up, and then goes back down. So basically, the markets are just going ape shit. But if you guys watched my previous video on the case study of GJ, you would understand that I'm actually short on GBP JPY. I'm no longer long on it. I've been short on it. But I've been trying to catch the buy up to catch that sell down, if you know what I mean. So let me actually explain what's happening right now. So from a institutional perspective, this looked like a pretty good opportunity to buy, obviously, right? Because this is a daily demand zone. Just make this like blue or something. Yeah, so this is a daily demand zone, and either way, this is still a good opportunity to buy in, because look, as price may have not respected our initial entry, which was at the open of this order block, that doesn't mean that this entire zone is wrong, because there's still about 94 pips of zone left for smart money to accumulate orders and go up. So this is actually something I was making a video on for the next week. I'm just back testing this right now. But something about these zones, something about the order block, right? When price enters them, the market will sometimes enter it, show you a break of structure, respect your order block, go up, but then end up going down. Now I'm back testing this theory that I thought about over in my head. So I'm not going to talk about this right now because I don't want to give you guys false information. But what I assume is what's happening right now is the price action is going down deeper to get a better mitigation of this entire daily institutional candle. Now, I think if I was on the 12-hour time frame, yeah. So basically, the market is most likely going down lower to get a better mitigation of this candle. And if we maybe go check the other time frames, you can get you can find a refined version. I think I found one on the 4-hour. I'm not too sure. It was the 1 hour. No, it was the 1 hour, and then I refined it even lower down to like the 45. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So right here, GJ, we have two levels of areas of interest. We had the first one, which was right over here, and as you can see, it tapped in pretty nicely and it respected it. We had a nice reaction for about 70 pips, and that's a pretty good move. But guess what? The market wasn't done. It did accumulate orders right over here, but then the price action ended up going lower because it has a better interest. It has interest in, different candles such as this one right here. So really, GJ is still, in the moment, it still has the bullish momentum that we're looking for. It's just the zone that we were focusing on at this time, which was here, and I sent it in the Discord group chat. Let me quickly go to GJ right now, right to the pictures I sent. Where is this at? Hold on, let me just quickly find this, guys. No, it was not this one. It was I have my second monitor open. Alright, I found it. Oh no, that's gold. GJ, there we go, I found it. So basically on GJ, we were focusing on 1 and 2. You can't be right. It's either one or the other. It's gonna be one or the other. So you can't always be right about which OB is gonna play out. So you're gonna have to take those losses and just move on, because that's just how trading is. Like, I've lost this entire month in itself. I'm still positive on the month because I have proper risk management, trade management, so I'm still positive at the end of the month. But I've lost a lot. But at the end of the day, that's just how trading is. I can't always be right, and I'm gonna have months where I'm gonna win a lot and people are gonna lose a lot. That's just how trading is. But basically, what I'm anticipating at this point is GJ is most likely gonna be going down to mitigate this 45-minute institutional candle. Now at this point, when this 45-minute IC comes, price is most likely not going to consolidate inside of a lot. It's most likely going to tap into it and quickly move away. And let me tell you why I'm targeting highs over here. Now, like I said before, GJ is bearish, specifically because right here we can see we have a high, we have a higher low, and then we have another higher high, and then a higher low, and then a higher high. Now this higher low right here ended up getting broken. We already got that break of structure that we're looking for. BOS bottom, so we already have that break of structure. So that right there is our first indication that GJ is definitely bearish, and it might be going back down to mitigating all this imbalance over here. Because if we check the weekly time frame, just look at all that imbalance, right? And then you have a clean weekly institutional candle just chilling over here waiting to get, you know, mitigated. So if there's a strong possibility GJ is going to fall all the way down to here to go higher. Now this is all obviously hearsay, because I don't know for sure what's going to happen, but we're just going to have to react off of whatever, you know, whatever we see. So at the moment, GJ doesn't even need to respect this, you know, the zone. It could easily just reverse, or it could easily just fall all the way down to this one right here. Well, that's why we're going to be waiting for that confirmation. But so let's go back to the 4-hour time frame, and let's just take a look at where I see GJ going take profits wise. So 100% it's going to go above this level right here. The reason I say this is because there's liquidity here, obviously, right? And if you want to make this a little bit more cleaner, you can look at it from like a retail trading perspective. There's a touch of support, another touch of resistance right here, and we have another touch of resistance. So this is obviously a level that most retail traders are looking to get involved in. And as institutional traders, we know that this level has to get taken out because of all the liquidity that's left above. Now, I also spoke about why I'm looking to sell in this area right here. I spoke about why I think GJ is going to come up into this point of interest right here and then sell off, specifically because one, this is where the market ended up selling off. The start of this major move down, the start of all the structure that we're seeing here, it all started when price came up to this point right here. Now, if you check the weekly time frame, what's interesting is that on the weekly time frame, we had another institutional candle that price was inside this entire time. That's something a lot of people may have not noticed. So all this sell side pressure, all this sell side structure, it happened for a reason. And the cause of this entire, you know, bearish structure was that the market was inside of a weekly institutional candle. And that's why the market ended up selling off a ton. And notice how this was a pretty strong weekly institutional candle, right? This is extremely strong because price came up to here and sold off a ton, breaking structure. Notice how the market came in for more of a 50% retracement. It broke above the 50% of the zone, and just above the 50% ended up selling off right after that 50%. Now that's also the theory that I'm still like back testing, trying to make sure that, you know, it's proper and, you know, and everything that. So what are we anticipating at this point? Well, there's still this institutional candle that has to get taken out, and on top of that, I spoke about the liquidity that's resting over here already. There's a ton of liquidity that's resting over here, and that means that there's probably money all over the market, like all over around this area. Because remember, liquidity isn't like, stop losses aren't something that are like 15-20 pips above. Stop losses can be scattered all around the market. Literally the entire market is just liquidity. So keep that in mind. So at this point, GJ is still bearish, but we're looking for that buy opportunity. If this buy opportunity does not play out on the market, just completely tanks, at that point, that's when we can alter our levels of interest and move it from this point and this point, right? Because if the market is going lower and lower and lower, that means that discounted levels are changing. So for example, let's say the market is in a uptrend, right? Let me try to find my tool quick time. Right here, let's say the market is in an uptrend. Let's assume that it left two institutional candles, one here and one here, and both of these are discounted. So take your Fibonacci out and then level this or measure this. All right, boom. You can see that both of these levels are discounted. Now look what happens next. Let's assume that price action goes down and makes a new impulsive move back up. Now we created new discounted levels, right? Because now the market is going higher and higher and higher. So now this might be a little bit too discounted. So we're going to have to move our point of interest from maybe the next higher low down to the next higher low, right? So you get what I'm saying? And that's exactly what's happening right over here on GJ right now. So at this point, like I already said, we're waiting for price to come into here and then bring it all the way back up to 557 pips. Now that's GJ. That's what I'm seeing right now. Going over to GBP USD. Oh snap, GBP USD. I think I did this wrong. Taking a look at this right now. Yeah, so GU fell as well. So taking a look at GBP USD right now. Let's go back to my pair right here and boom. GU is still bearish. I even explained why I'm bearish on GU, but for the time being, we still have to catch the buy move up, because look, we broke structure here, we left liquidity over here. Let me explain this from a basic structure perspective. So we had this bullish impulsive move up, we had this bearish impulsive move down, and another bullish impulsive move back up. We can see that we're in a bullish uptrend, but then at this point, the market basically redistributed or distributed price right here. All this consolidation is literally distribution. The market distributed price, brought it back down, redistributed, brought it back down, and then came back up, breaking structure. You see that? So this is from a Wyckoff and structure perspective. So we have redistribution right here, or sorry, just distribution, and then we have redistribution right over here. Once again, so this is a redistribution because price action went down, distributed, went down again, and usually after price goes down, it consolidates and goes up, and that's known as the accumulation. So we have the distribution right here, where price action was basically just taking out stop losses over stop losses and stop losses. You can see that we kept this swing high right here. Obviously there's liquidity above it, and then right above that we ended up breaking above this swing high and making a new swing high. So now smart money is holding liquidity over here. They're holding orders at this point because they took out the orders from here. And then right after that, we have this last high that the market created before it ended up selling off. Now that's a 3 drive move. We have 1, 2, and 3, and then the market fell off. And that's known as your distribution. Now for the redistribution, what do we have? Well, we have your redistribution schematic, and then price action ended up creating this supply zone that the market ended up coming back down to and testing. Let me make this a little nicer. Boom, basically coming back, sold off, breaking structure, comes back into it to test it, and then it goes back down. But notice that inside of this structure, we actually broke structure. So we have this this low, we have a high, lower high. Sorry, we have a low, we have a high, we have a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then price action goes up to take out this high right here. So this is known as your break of structure. You have a break of structure right there. So we know GU has to go back up. That doesn't necessarily mean it's still bullish, or it's the structure itself from a long-term perspective is bullish. All it means is that GU has to go back up to maybe re-mitigate this institutional candle over here that could be seen as your LPSY, right? So right here, boom. So this is why I was looking to buy GU. I knew that GU was gonna go down for sure, because if we check the weekly time frame, you can see that there's a ton of imbalance and order blocks GU has to come down to take out. For example, it has this entire zone it has to mitigate, right? Maybe even come back down here. That'd be a little bit crazy, but that's just how the markets are moving. And from a weekly traditional perspective, look at how the weekly is. The weekly is still bearish. We basically came back up to retest this level, and then the market ended up is gonna sell all the way back down. So yeah, we're still bearish on GU and GJ. They're both bearish pairs for the time being. This entire movement back up that we saw, this was all moved by news and fundamentals. And also we had an institutional candle towards the left that we had to mitigate. This one had to get mitigated. It had to, obviously, because it's at the high of the it's at the swing high of this major lower low that created a lower low. So same thing is going to happen right now. We created this area of interest as distribution. Price is most likely going to come back up to redistribute, take out that order block, and then go all the way back down and maybe retest this area, or maybe retest this area. Because remember, GBP cannot continue to go up like that. GBP has been in a downtrend since 2007. Like, I was a kid at that time, right? So it's been sells for so long, and just because of this pandemic, it's not going to change anything. This pandemic would have to make history for GU to just completely go bullish. That would like destroy. It wouldn't destroy. It'd be good for the GBP economy, obviously, but at the same time, you have to think about fundamentals and all this. All the negative fundamentals that's happening right now. All this stuff that we saw here, this was moved by technicals and fundamentals, but the move down is going to be straight technicals, because from a technical analysis, we're still bearish on GU, and now we're actually coming lower down to our second area of interest, I think. Let me go back to GU right here. Yeah, so actually no, I don't have a second point of interest, I forgot. But yeah, basically GU was just coming back down lower into this area of interest to maybe mitigate deeper of the institutional candle. I'm not sure right now, but we could check the 45-minute to get a better refined point of interest, maybe like something like this, right? even though it did get tested already kind of, but it's still a possibility. So this is one possibility, and then a second possibility is check the 30. And from the 30-minute perspective, we could, you know, refine it up to like this right here. So GU could be coming back down here, and it already did. Now we would need to see a nice like quick reversal. I don't want to see GU do stuff like this, like come in, just go down and then go up. What I want to see is before GU comes into it, I want to see price start to slow down. This insane bearish structure we're seeing, I want to see this whole thing get diminished, because as long as this structure is pushing price down, this little, you know, consolidation doesn't mean anything. What I wanted to see was GU go like this and then tap into it, go like that, because that means there's liquidity over here. There's a reason for GU to tap into this point of interest, and sadly that's not what happened. So I'm not too confident inside of GU longs at the moment, but definitely it's gonna happen. We just have to wait for the proper confirmation, and when the proper confirmation does come, we'll obviously take the setup. Now from a longer term perspective, like I said before, we're looking to sell here. There's no question about it. I would set a limit here with a deeper stop loss, just because of how confident I am in this. GU should be coming back up to this point of interest to sell all the way back down to potentially back down to here. Now, if you don't want to refine your point of interest, I'm sure a lot of people, they just set limits. If you set a limit, I'm sorry, that's over 100 pip zone, and obviously you're going to be using proper risk, so it's not a big deal. But at the same time, that's one heavy drawdown you're going through. And as you can see, it's still going down. So basically at this point, GU is right here. So that means we have over 53 pips worth of zone to play with right here. So now I can just refine it up to here, because I know that the zone above is no longer valid. This zone that I just had over here, it's no longer valid because price already broke below this zone. So now I'm just going to refine my zone up to wherever price action is right now. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can see a nice retracement into like maybe a smaller time frame area of interest. I'm just about to go down here, get a better look. Not seeing anything. Maybe check the 5-minute. Now on the 5-minute, once again, there's literally nothing. There's nothing clean. You could refine it like up to here, but this one did get tested already. Now what didn't get tested is this, right? This area right over here did not get tested. In fact, this is untested, and it's the start of this major move back up. And on top of that, we also do have some liquidity. I'm doing this live, by the way, so this is all live. We do have some liquidity resting over here that the market will probably end up taking out. So there is still a high probability of GU coming down into this point of interest, and then the market just completely shooting up after that. Now that's what I'm assuming. This is all hearsay. I don't know what's exactly going to happen, but if you are looking to buy, if you don't have the patience or the emotional mental state to actually buy right now, then don't buy. I'm saying this because I'm okay with losing. I've lost like 3 to 4 trades, 5 trades this week. I'm still positive because I took partials on EN, which was a really good trade, and GU, when I caught this 400 pip move up, we took partials along the way. So overall this week was like 200 pip profit, something like that. But I'm okay with losing. I don't care. I'm chill with losing because I know I'm still following my plan. If you're gonna follow your plan, everything's gonna be okay, because no matter how much you lose, you're still gonna come out positive as long as you're using proper risk and just follow the trading plan at the end of the day. So I'm basically waiting for price action to come back into this area, or rather come into this area, and then from here we can look for the confirmation and take GU all the way back up into this point of interest right here. Now I'll update everyone. I already told everyone what I do see happening regarding GJ, right? GJ should be coming back down to this one. GU, they're both correlating pairs. They look the exact same. You can see that we have a point of interest right here, and GU, same thing. But other than that, that's all I can say right now for GU and GJ. For the people saying that JPY is stronger than GBP, you are correct for the time being. Remember, for the time being. Like I said, August and September are known for its sell-offs. Like, let's go back somewhere random in September, right? Because right now we're in August 21st. We're on the 21st of August, or like the 19th, something like that. So let's go somewhere back. Let's look for August. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. And right here should be August, right? Am I tripping? July, September? Like, okay, there we go. Right here, August. Now, obviously we're back testing, so this is way more easier and, doesn't look as manipulating. But from the daily perspective, really think about this. you have a daily candle open. That means that for the 4-hour time frame, 4 hours worth of price action, 4, 8, 12, 16, 24. That's 5 4-hour candles worth of daily bullishness. Now from here, the next few days close bearish, and then once again the next few days close bullish. You see this breakup structure, right? That's a pretty clean breakup structure. Could have taken right here, BOS top, and then price action comes back down into this point of interest, and this actually would have been a pretty decent buy opportunity if you caught it. But not a lot of people see things like this, right? Because when you do see this major move back down and August opens, August starts consolidating, what you're going to be thinking is, I'm not going to be buying over here because there's a breaker structure. I'm going to be selling at this institutional candle. Actually, oh, this institutional candle didn't work out. All right, I'll sell over here. And this one actually would have been a pretty decent sell. It moved over like 1,000. 500, still pretty good. Yeah, but that would have a pretty good sell, and then the market continues going bullish. So remember, August is known for its manipulations. And then look at September. The second September opened, the market just took off. Completely took off, right? And then let's go again to the next one. July, August right here. August opens. Before August, prior to August, we're in a consolidation. It was moving really slow, but we're in a consolidation. People were probably looking to sell over here. Look, market taps into the institutional candle. This is all in August. It taps in and the market starts reacting, showing you structures changing and stuff. But then boom, price goes up. What happens? As soon as September opens, we have a couple days of bullishness, and then the market ends up correcting all the way back down to retest the discounted OB over here because the market reversed. The best way to, avoid these types of manipulations, the best way is to look at the higher time frames. Now that's my advice. Look at the higher time frames. That's the best way to, in reality, to completely, stop getting confused with this. Because look, if you looked at the higher time frames, let's go to like right here. If you look at the higher time frames on GBP, JPY, right? Boom, 1 month. Let's go to the monthly. Boom. Look at the higher time frames. It's completely bearish. We have a high. I'm not going to look all the way back here, but let's go from here. We have a high. We have a lower high. Sorry, we have a high. We have a low. We have a lower high. And then we have a lower low because this candle right here ended up taking out this low right here, right? So once you do see that this lower low got taken out with a new low, but then the market starts breaking, weekly structure. So for example, weekly structure, minor weekly structure like this, low, lower, high, low, lower, high, low, lower, high, low, lower, high. And then we have a, is this, yeah, and another lower high. But then the market ends up breaking this weekly structure right here that brought us lower. What does that tell you? Well, if we're breaking weekly structure, most likely the monthly has an objective to get to. Well, the monthly objective was this institutional candle on the monthly time frame. This one right over here. This monthly IC, this was the objective. And we've met the objective. So what now? Well, now we go back down to the weekly time frame and we look at weekly structure. What happened on the weekly? We have a higher low, higher high, and then boom, breakup structure right here. Well, what are you going to do now? Are you going to sit down and say, okay, nah, that breakup structure wasn't valid because I feel like it's still buys and GBP has been bullish for, since day one. Nah, you have to adapt to the structure. What is the structure saying? No matter how much I want to see buys, I can't see buys if the structure is telling me sells. So we do see that breakup structure right here. Now what do? Well, look for your institutional candles that were the cause of that breaker structure. So let's take a deeper look at the weekly structure now inside of our zone of interest. So we have this low, lower high, and then possibly a lower low, right? That's what we're expecting to see at least. So let's go down to the daily and let's look. Daily, this institutional candle is the cleanest. I'm not going to go for this one because this one got tested. This is the only untested institutional candle that I can go for. So that's why I'm going to be highlighting this point of interest right here. Let me make this like yellow or something. I don't know. Okay, nah, yellow is hella ugly. Let's make this black. So boom, we have that point of interest right here. Now, what else do we have? Well, we have liquidity resting above right here. So that means that the market has to go up to take out the highs. So we have a reason to buy now. We know that the market overall is going to go down, but at the same time, we know the market has to go up before it goes down because of the liquidity. Right now, there is liquidity over here, but there's also a pretty clean opportunity to catch a sell from here as well. So we have 2 points of interest. You can look for confirmation over here before you take the sell, obviously, because something that GP would like to do is they will come into like a point of interest near liquidity and they'll just sell off without taking the LQ out because they want to leave it for the longer term. So maybe like for example right here, or let's go to GU actually. GU is a good example. Right here, market left liquidity here, and then it came all the way down to take it out. And now we know why it did that. We know it did that because the overall objective was to bring price lower. This was just their reason to bring it lower. You get what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, there's liquidity here, so now we can go back down and take it out. We have a reason. Now going back to GBP JPY, I'm getting tired of talking. Holy shit. Yeah, no, this is like, I'm annoyed myself too. I did lose a lot on GU and GJ, but at the end of the day, that's just how the market is. Now, this zone and this zone are the two key zones for GBP USD. Remember that. But if you're still looking to catch the buy, you can still wait for the confirmation once price comes inside of this level. Keep that in mind. And we're targeting the next high all the way over here for 547 pips. Now, I hope this video made sense and you guys understand what's happening and why it's happening. I was confused at first too, but I had to go back. I had to slow down. Remember, when something's happening, don't assess your emotions on how you're feeling when it's happening. Assess the situation, because the situation is what's causing your emotions, right? So when something wrong happens in your life, you have to assess what's the cause. The cause of all this stuff was obviously because of this dumb little wick. Just let that sink in. This wick right here is what caused all of us to lose, you know, some money. So this is what I'm saying. Assess the situation, not the emotion. The situation, the objectiveness. The situation is the most important thing. Now, I know the situation. I know the situation is GJ and GU both have to go up before they have to go down. But overall, we're looking to sell it. So now I know that why I was losing when I was looking to buy over here. Why I was losing when I was looking to buy over here. I know my reasons. I know my mistakes. So don't just get mad at yourself and say, all right, I'm quitting trading. You know, I'm done. Well, you probably made a mistake. I made a mistake this week as well. I made a ton of mistakes. But as long as you're learning from those mistakes, and you're not making those mistakes over and over again, then yeah, you're good. So, you know, try to prosper. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just try to understand your mistakes. And trust me, stuff like this will always happen. I'm telling you, you're going to have months where people are going to lose a ton of money and you're going to make a ton of money. And you're going to feel amazing because you're like, holy, you know, I have this skill. I'm making money while people are losing money. But at the same time, you're going to have months where people are making money and you're losing money. That's just how trading is. ICT, you know, WWA, no matter which trader is, including me, you're always gonna have down weeks. It's impossible to not have a down week unless you're trading like, you know, the 1 minute and you're going for like, you know, 10 pip take profits and like, you know, 10 pip stop losses. Now that's a different story. That one's pretty easy to do, but it's not that, you know, it's hard to maintain and stuff. So, you know, prosper, try to, you know, study your mistakes and take it easy on yourself. Things will go better in the future. Just make sure you keep your head up and take these losses like a boss. Trust me, take these losses like a boss, and these wins are gonna come in like quick, super quick. So anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope this answered a lot of your questions on why GBP, you know, why was GBP moving, you know, like a crackhead? Why was GBP USD going up, down? Now we know why. So anyways, take care, study your losses, and peace out.